Okay, Rick asked if you would review those quickly.
Okay, David Katz.
The 5 things.
David Katz started out conference, and he is the director of preventative medicine at Yale, so that's pretty huge. He said that cancer and cardiovascular disease and dementia are not causes of death. That's what ends up on the death certificate, but they are symptoms and they are effects of our bad choices. He asked 4 questions. Do you smoke? Do you eat healthy, which means getting enough fruits and vegetables and whole grains? Do you exercise, and are you maintaining a healthy weight? And when the answer to those questions is yes, you have an 80% reduced chance, lifetime probability of premature death from all causes. It goes down 80%. That was huge. That's the Ford-Potsdam study. He talks about the master levers of destiny. Levers like in physics. Feet, forks, fingers, sleep, stress, and love. The feet meaning exercise, forks meaning diet, fingers meaning don't smoke, holding in your fingers. Sleep, get enough. Stress, stress less. Figure out ways to deal with stress. And love, both giving and receiving. This is a hugely important thing. He said adopting healthy lifestyle practices actually grows your telomeres. In other words, it improves your DNA, it repairs your DNA so that your genetics, your DNA does not have to be your destiny. There's a Time magazine article, you can look this up, Time magazine, why your DNA isn't your destiny. And it's all about epigenetics. So that was huge. Diet is the leading cause of premature death. So I know that we know this, but a lot of people don't. And when you have the statistics to tell them, you can share confidently why we need to be concentrating on the way that we eat. You can Google American dietary changes on Vox, just American diet changes Vox, and you'll get lots of great information. There's a New York Times article written by Michael Moss, The Extraordinary Science of Addictive Junk Food. And he explained how our food supply is being intentionally and willfully manipulated. This is horrendous. We should be totally outraged that they're actually creating a science behind addiction and trying to get people addicted to the processed food so that they can make money. Again, greed is at the bottom of all of that. Dietary choices. Fat from plants, reduced death. Processed fats and fat from animals, increased chance of death. Higher percentage of animal protein, increase the chance of death. Higher percentage of plant protein, decrease the chance of death. So getting your food, he said, which we've heard this one before, eat real food, mostly plants, not too much. Real food, mostly plants, not too much. That's an excellent way to sum up what we need to be doing. Another article that he mentioned from Blue Zones is obesity cultural? So this is just some of the things, if you write these down, that you will get from his.
So I think it would be really good to take some of those and pop them into Vitality for a Lifetime over the next few weeks. Not all at once, because, and just,
And 2 other things that he said.
It also is in print, so we can all go back and look at it,
Yeah.
So can you then talk a little bit about the next gen?
Oh, yeah, Eve Turo Paul.
Yeah.
Okay, so she wrote, I don't know whether this was a book or an article, A Taste of Generation Yum, but the Y was emphasized, Generation Y, Generation Yum. She said that millennials are food obsessed. And we've seen that before. We've seen that definitely with our kids, our married daughters. Millennials are stressed out because they know way too much. They're exposed to way too much. We didn't have the burden of instantly knowing everything that was going on in the entire world all the time, but they do. They know when there's a bombing in Timbuktu, So, all of it. And it makes them feel like things are very out of control. So the one thing they can control is food. So they're really big on food and really big on the food experience. The whole thing, how it makes them feel. You will notice that they post a lot of pictures. And when somebody posts pictures, they're always trying to say something or prove something with that. So analyze, what are they trying to say or prove from the pictures that they're posting? And what are we trying to say with the pictures that we post? It's very, very important piece of stuff. specialized diets that they have are actually providing community. They're identifying with somebody. So like, yes, I'm vegan, I'm gluten-free, I'm this, I'm that. So millennials are hugely food obsessed. And a lot of it is because they're looking for a sense of belonging. So this whole presentation showed what's important to millennials. And this is the next generation. This is the people that we need to reach. And they are caring about where their food comes from and how pure it is, because of all the chemicals and contamination that we're exposed to. So they want that control. So reaching out to them with our message of getting enough fruits and vegetables and the purity of Juice Plus and being able to grow their own with the Tower Garden is pretty huge. And I think for me, I'm missing out on this, the Tower Garden part of that. They really want that control. They want real, and they are also looking for ways, because these are the parents. I mean, look at Elizabeth with her babies. These are parents who are concerned with what they're putting into their kids' bodies. So anyway, it was huge. And it's, I think, important to know how important that is to them so that you can speak to that side of what's important to them.
Yeah, and not only that, but so they want community, they want fun, they want to make a difference. And that's where our company's going.
Yep.
We're all going to get old. So thank you, Elizabeth, for saying yes.
Yay.
We always love you and your baby, and we want more Elizabeths to start joining us on this call. We got to get some of your mommies, Nancy, that you deliver all these babies, and get them involved. And because really and truly, thank you for sharing all that stuff, because it's really, it's just truth. And I have said on Boxer all day, we're not just another day at the office. What we are doing matters so much. And so maybe Deb, with that, one of the things that really stood out to Deb was the NMD speeches. So maybe you could share a couple of tidbits about that, because that's where you go, oh my gosh, maybe I could be doing that. And oh my gosh, look what this did for those people. And it totally changed their lives. So
yep.
We'll let you go next.
Okay, so for me, I love starting out. Nancy, I thought of you the whole time in the beginning when they gave the snippets about the research and the parts. I mean, I don't understand it the level that other people might, but as just a regular person, non-sciencey person, it was amazing to me to think what they're doing with anti-aging and the cardiovascular information, the microbiome, the muscle functions, all of these things that they're starting to do, and that we have 9 different research studies that are underway right now, which is more than we usually have at any one given period of time. We already have 38 different published studies, and they've established this Juice Plus Science Institute, which I'm not going to talk a lot about, but it's going to be part of our future with the Juice Plus company, that I think we are so on the right path without all that kind of thing. And they talk about it in ways that non-sciencey people can understand. That was just fabulous to hear about it from Paulo. But a lot of the speakers gave trainings that we've heard some of the information before. You know, DNA is not your destiny, but it is your diet, or your dinner is. But things that really struck out and warmed my heart were the NMD speeches. And I think about several of them. One in particular was Darlene Fenwick. She just, I mean, if you would see her in the group, you would think, okay, she's just somebody that got on and she's part of the Shred 10 program or something or whatever. And I realized how much I judge, and I shouldn't be. This woman got up, and she was just amazing. She spoke from her heart about, you know, she was down and right destitute, a lot of health problems in the family, a lot of stuff going on. Finally, she started with Juice Plus, and she said, the smart woman that I am, I did not ask my husband about it. I knew that we needed it. I rearranged our food budget, and I made it work for the family. but she emphasized the value of team because she'd have never gotten there without her team. And she was truly humble, and to the point where she was one of my favorite speakers. And she said, the only way to predict your future is to create it. And we all have that potential in us. She ended hers with the C.S. Lewis quote about you can't go back to the beginning, but you can surely start over again from move forward. But I loved her. I just loved her. Another one, typical one we've heard before from T.K. Herman was, if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. And that's just a snippet, but it was important. Ashley Hudson, who is on our team up under the Ewald somewhere, I'm not sure how they fit, but I know we've had training with Ashley Hudson before. She was like this dynamo that got on the stage, and she's like, you know, you have to have radical obedience, the big things, and there's hard things, and big love, and honor the struggle because you grow from the struggle. And she said, and we had to listen twice to this, she said, you need to embrace the suck, S-U-C-K, the suck, the bad parts, because you learn from those parts, and embrace it because that means you have a chance to learn and to grow. And I thought, you know what, here's someone that just is right out there bold, love recklessly, love the crap out of people. She just told it like it was, and it was like, wow. She wasn't politically correct. She just was like, you know, chase those hearts because I am worth it. And that was amazing. So I hope we get to hear some more from Ashley, and I hope to learn a lot from her. Another one, Julie Gervasi, said strength comes from the struggle, which is true. But there was a lady named Lacey Daunt who, this was another one that got my heart, said, don't settle for anything that doesn't set your soul on fire. And I thought, you know, your goal can be big enough to make you cry or not cry or whatever, but if it doesn't set your soul on fire, then something's missing. So don't settle. Jessica Potterton said, never give up on anyone. You don't know people's stories. Don't be afraid to say you have made a mistake and try to go out. I mean, I think of myself with follow-up. How many people have I left in the cracks somewhere? And it's not their fault they haven't called me back. It's they have lives, and I haven't done my job as a professional. Your focus and positive mindset, asking for help. That's important. Ask somebody for help. Doesn't matter if it's your upline, your sponsor, your sideline, somebody in the organization, ask for help. Taking that 20 seconds of courage and taking care to choose who you spend time with. So I know we've had a lot of talk from different trainings about invite everybody to the team. Just get them all in because you want to be wide and deep. And you do want to be wide and deep. But who do you want to spend time with? Choose some of the best fruit. Don't have to settle for the ones, I mean, yeah, let them be customers, but, you know, building that team, but looking for people that can help make us grow, help stretch ourselves. And I think that was really a key statement. And there were several other ones. I didn't write them down particularly about anything, but for me, it was just hearing their souls up there and just being as bare as they could be about what this life is all about and how important it is to everybody.
Thanks. So, and one of my notes of something I was going to say tonight is why go to conference? That's why you go to conference, because we can't communicate that to you. And conference lights your fire. You get to hear all the new stuff. You get to be so inspired by who the company is that we're a part of. And it's a privilege for us to be doing what we're doing. People say all the time, I don't have to, I get to. And I know that it's easy. A few no's can be discouraging. Canceled credit cards can be discouraging. I have them too. I'm chasing a couple of them right now. And you hate that when it's the end of the month. But, you know, you just can't ever take no for an answer. And I think that's one of the things that we always laugh about. And we say, well, the one thing about an NMD is there's no such word as no in their vocabulary. They just reframe it and come back with a different way to look at it. And so these new NMDs were just incredibly inspiring. So thank you. So we were talking before some of you got on about events, and our Zoom event we have every week. And a big theme for this conference was to build a strong foundation or a strong organization with events. And events can be a lot of stuff, but the first piece is your mindset. To be brave, to never prejudge, and never give up. You know, we're going to have a speaker here next week, and she tells a story about Harriet Solskjaer. The first time she did an event, nobody but her parents showed up. So she left, she went back, she rebooked the little hotel space that she was in. She re-invited and told everybody it was the best event ever. And she now has Wendy Campbell on her team, you know, because she never gave up. An event can be coffee. You know, one of the things we talked about in our Facebook page is what's your favorite kind of event? And find a buddy to do it with. It's lonely doing this stuff by yourself. Be consistent in what you do, but is your favorite thing to have coffee with somebody? Is it to get a small group of people together? Is it to do it on Zoom, to do Facebook events? You know, one of the things that we have to be creative about in this team is that we're pretty far spread out. Well, there's some advantage to that because there's a lot of people in Dayton, Ohio that already know about Juice Plus because there's 4 or 5 NMDs here. And so it's okay with me to be elsewhere. And, you know, Leslie's got a really neat opportunity. Again, why do you go to conference? Because you meet people. So I met somebody that said they were from Texas. And I said, where from Texas are you? And I forget what the town is. But anyway, it turned out to be about an hour from where Leslie is. You know, I'm texting Leslie and saying, what town do you live in? And so we're going to do a Zoom call with them tomorrow. And they're going to invite her to come to some of their events. And which you think, oh, I don't have anybody to do anything with. Well, find a buddy and start doing events. Go do some tables. Have some people over to make smoothies. That's easy to do. A salad in a jar, play a video. And get people together so they can experience who we are, because who we are is different from anybody else in the world. There is no company out there like ours. And so, but you have to be consistent with them. So that's why, you know, we were talking earlier, what are we going to do with our Tuesday night calls? Well, I think they need to be in place. This is my personal opinion. So we have something to invite to, but the trick to that is we actually have to do the inviting. And so we can talk about that later, but typically I've always been taught never cancel an event. And if you're consistent, it'll build your confidence. You know, if we take a couple weeks off, it's easy to just go, well, I don't know, you know, that kind of thing. But they did talk about an event called Power of 5. And so that's something that people are doing across the country. They're doing as live events. And I'm thinking, well, why couldn't we do that as a Zoom event? And so you're not talking about the product. You're not doing the script that we're doing, but you have 5 people that are just telling their story, and that's all they're doing. So you guys let me know if you'd like to do that. And we might even get some of the younger people to do that. We talked about changing up some of our Zoom calls so that we have something to actually build for, that they've got a topic. I know that that group in Texas is going to do one on diabetes. So start making a list and let's get serious. Let's not just say, oh, we're going to do it, but let's get the team together that wants that particular event. We talked about pregnancy and a couple of things. There was another gal, her name was Andrea Bone, and she was kind of going along with this team building success. Why do you want to build a team? Because you can help more people if you have a team, you know, that are sharing the message and the mission with us. You can't do it all yourself, and it gets really exhausting when you try. So she had this thing, and I'm trying to get my hands on it. It's called a roadmap. And she took the little Post-it note thing and printed it out and just write people's names rather than having a pad of Post-it notes. write people's names. Okay, I got 3 orders. This is step 1. I got 12 orders. Oh, now I'm a VF. 24 orders. Now I'm self-qualified. And so she had those markers. So when you get to have a qualified business, you can look at that roadmap and you can see, oh, these are the people that I have. You know, how am I going to get to the top commission level? Well, you start writing your orders down. And Sandy mentioned this, go wide to, and then also once you've gone wide, you want to duplicate. And I think that's the place that we are not doing that. We get to VF, we take a deep breath. And what are the next steps? Well, the next steps are teach 3 people to do what you just did. So you want to keep it simple. The depth that you do creates security in your line so that if somebody falls out, you've still got somebody in there. And the daily method of operation is talking to people. So we're going to use TeamZ, which Sandy's going to share. She got to it quicker than the rest of us. But I want to show you a couple of things before we go to that. A bullet point. Eventually, we will not be able to put customer orders in ourselves because of privacy and taking people's credit cards. So we want to start using the customer portal. Do you guys know what that is? It's that little, in your virtual office on the upper right, there's a little person icon, and people can actually set up an account, their own account, that's under you, so you get credit for the orders and they can adjust their orders themselves. That's a big pill for me to swallow. I like putting the orders in because then I know I'm actually going to get them. Because if I send them a link, it might be next year till they actually put the order in. So maybe we'll get some training about how to make that happen. But just for you to know, that's kind of where it's headed. But I want to share a screen here really quick, which is this new incentive. So this is awesome, brand new, rolled it out at conference, and it's more money. And it's just incentivizing us to sponsor HLPs. And so there's different kinds of people we're inviting to join the mission. And I never say, would you like to join my team? I never say, would you like to be a representative? No, thank you very much. But starting now to the end of January, anyone that you sign up as a new representative and they accomplish their HLP in 30 days, and you know me, I like to help them get it done before the end of the business month they're in, but they're going to get $100 and a free ticket to Juice Plus Live. They can go on and do their 2,000 plus and they'll get another $100 ticket to Juice Plus Live. For the rest of us, if you sponsor 2 HLPs, you will earn yourself a $100 bonus and a registration fee reimbursement to a regional boot camp. A couple of boot camps that I know about, and I was going to try to find some other ones and I didn't have time, but I know that the Peachtree boot camp, I wrote that down, is in February. Might be nice to get away in February when it's cold. That's in the Atlanta area with Kurt Beavers. It's a great boot camp, and you would get to do that for free. There's one in a couple weeks, and I don't know, it's likely sold out, but it's also in Georgia. It's called the Paget Boot Camp, and it's crazy and fun, and it's kind of on the Paget's big farm, and there's a lot of fun stuff about that. So if you sponsor 3, then you get all of that plus a chance to win a summer tour prize package. So that includes air, hotel, and ticket to go to one of the summits. And if you sponsor 4, I mean, we could all sponsor 4 or 5 HLPs between now and the end of January, I would think. And so for every additional one, 5 or more, you get entered into a drawing for more prize packages. So it's unlimited. And the summer tours are in Charlotte. That's June 21st, 22nd. Chicago is the following week. San Antonio, which is something that Leslie could be interested in, and it's in my little booklet. I forget what the date is for that one. And San Diego. So if we get somebody in California, we can do that. San Antonio is July 12th through 13th. So, win the airfare to get there. Terry, you could do that. You could win the airfare to go to San Antonio and be there with Leslie. How fun would that be? So anyway, that's that piece. See if I've forgotten anything. Mark your calendar for Sacramento. That's April 11th through the 13th. And we got to talking a little bit at this conference about maybe just getting an Airbnb. So maybe Sandy, you and Deb could speak to that for a minute. Oh, yeah, unmute.
Jeff and I got a really nice condo in an upscale neighborhood it was probably 1 mile away, but it was on the Riverwalk. And so every morning we walked down, saw the sunrise as we walked along the river, and every night we went back and you could see the sunset. It was just gorgeous, got us moving, and it was well within walking distance. It was wonderful. And it was, I think it was $74 or $84 a night, which was $200 cheaper than staying in the conference hotel. And Sandy got hers even cheaper, I think.
Yeah, it ended up.
Got a customer out of it.
And got a customer out of it. Lee said, yeah. So on Saturday night, I had talked to our hostess about Juice Plus. And so on Saturday night, we got back and we got a chance to talk with her. And she said, it's such a God thing that you guys came here, because she said, I was just saying how I don't get enough fruits and vegetables and I need to clean up my diet and all that kind of jazz. So she actually ordered that night, because she says, how can I do that? I said, I can put in order right now if you want. So I got brave and said, let's do it right now. And that was from conference. You guys, the thing about conference is you cannot replicate that, because you don't know what's going to gel. Like, there is just some stuff that I can't even explain to you that gelled in my mind. That's what made me able to do that with her, talk with her and ask her for the order and stuff. So anyway, definitely worth going. I would suggest us looking for it sooner rather than later. Because later, you find things that are farther away. Like ours was 3 miles out, which was definitely a hassle. But I mean, even with the transportation, it ended up being about $70 a night, and that's including, like I said, the transportation that we used. It was $52 a night, and then it cost us about $20 a day to go there and back with using a lift. So. Yeah, it worked well, but
there's just lots of ways. The other advantage is you can have food there. You can make food there. If you have a specialized diet.
Not that we were there much.
No. But anyway, I can tell you it was a whole lot cheaper than what I paid. And
I really like doing an Airbnb.
And I think it would be neat to have one with a bunch of us together, because we like each other, I think, right? And it would make it affordable. We did one in Orlando years ago that had 5 bedrooms in it and a pool. It was great. So
Lee was there for that one. He said, yeah, Lee was there for that one. He said, yeah, that was fun, because it was it had enough bedrooms that, if it was husband and wife, you could do that.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, come to conference. And 7 of us already had bought tickets. And that was the other advantage of being there, is if you were there, you could buy a ticket for $75 instead of $100. I think I
bought 2.
Some of the places, us 2, and then Rebecca won one. And so some of the places that people, that we can grow as a team, is I think we need more connection. We need to do more connection calls, and that's an event. So, this Schedule Once thing, I'm kind of thinking I'm going to get rid of it because I can't change it the way we used to. And Wendy's probably going to get rid of hers. And I don't know how many of you know that, but Jeff's going to be undergoing radiation for the next 6 weeks anyway. And so she doesn't know what her schedule is. So, we're going to do the calls ourselves. And we're certainly capable of doing that. Third-party validation is huge. I invite you to bring people to me so that we can do that. One of the things that, before I forget to tell you, because I want Sandy to talk about Team Z a little bit, but we're having a party, a Christmas party, and I will post the flyer as soon as I get it, but it is December 9th, and it's going to be at Thai 9 in Dayton, and everybody would buy their own meal, but we will provide appetizers and prizes, and we try to make it fun. It's just a time to be together, and if you can drive here, great. Obviously some of you cannot, but if you are local, that's what's going on here. And also there's going to be a contest, and it will be worth your while. That's all I can say. We don't have the flyer on that yet either, but I could be giving up to $1,000 away. And so it's going to be based on income producing activity. And so let me show you how to do income producing activity here really quick, because I know this is something that people often struggle with. Where's Facebook on here? Maybe I don't have Facebook up. Yeah, here we go. So I put this on the Dreammaker page for everybody. I am the queen of taking pictures of slides at conference. And some of us have heard this before. Okay, now I'll screen share. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Show all of Windows. There we go. Okay, so I like that a lot. Oh my gosh, maybe it didn't show, maybe it didn't post. I'm thinking it's not on here. I'll have to go back and redo it, but it's, so I'll get rid of that. I hope I didn't put it on my homepage. That would be highly embarrassing. Oh, I did. Well, that's not good. I'm going to have to redo this. I was doing it on my phone. Where'd it go? So they gave us slides of, no, I just saw it and it went away, darn.
What is it you're looking for?
It's the slides from the session on Saturday with following up, but it's not in here. I'll post it. It's things that you can say to people and how to follow up, and it's got kind of a Gen Y flair, if you will. And
didn't you have it on Dreammakers?
well, I thought I did, but it's not showing up there, and it's not thankfully it's not showing up on my main page, because that would be embarrassing. I don't know. I'll have to go back. I want to find it and delete it if it's in the wrong place. But at any rate, that was the one thing I wanted to make sure I showed you guys. So I'm disappointed that it's not where I thought it was, and I don't want to take your time. So share with us a little bit about Team Z, and then we'll be all done.
Okay, well, Team Z is basically a productivity app. It tells you what to do when. So let me see if I can share my screen. Let me see.
So, and while she's doing that, who all has already done Teamsy? Sandy, Deb.
Okay, are you seeing that screen?
Terry did it too.
Yeah, and Terry did it too. Yep.
I see.
Oh, wait, that's my screen.
That is your homepage, and you shared why mindset, how to follow up professionally on your homepage. It doesn't say that you shared it to Dream Makers.
Yeah, but if you scroll up, it's got the Tampa thing.
Oh, it's on it. Okay, it's on the Dream Maker page then.
Yes.
I went to the Dream Maker page, and that's where it is. So I wanted to show you that before we started the Teamsy bit.
Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't showing up on mine, but yes. So I hope you all will go look at that because it's good stuff.
Can you see this page? This is Teamsy.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So what they do, you load contacts. So you can load your Gmail list. You can load your customers from Juice Plus. You can load your all of your friends from Facebook. And there are videos that tell you exactly how to do it. So it's so easy to do. You just follow the videos. You just go and you do what he says to do, and then you push pause and you go do it, and you go push again and go push play, and you go do, and you can rank them by how frequently you want to contact those people. Now, take a look at this one. This is a friend of mine. Select your activity. I'm going to say Facebook message. And then I'm going to go to Facebook and I'm going to look up Robin. And she's the first one who comes up because I do, keep in contact with her. And then I'm going to send Robin a Facebook message. Whoops, I'm going to just message her. And I'm going to just ask her how things are going. And then I'm going to go back to Teamsy. I'm going to log that I connected with her. And then if I want to follow up, you see where my little cursor is here? Follow up in 2 days, follow up in a week.
We still have Robin Carter on the screen.
Okay. You don't have the Teamsy dashboard?
No, it's up in the upper left of this screen.
Okay. Well, let me try sharing again and see what happens. Do you have my Teamsy dashboard now?
We got nothing. Sandy Trissler has started screen sharing is what we've got.
Okay, it should come up now.
I've got Robin's page up. I don't know if you have to close that out.
Okay, let me try to close that out.
Well, this could take, I think.
Okay, so what you do is you go on Teamsy. It gives you a way to contact people, and it automatically brings people up. And we can do a Teamsy thing a different time because it's getting late. But Teamsy, I think, is going to be extremely beneficial for me because it's going to give. It tells you what to do. Basically, it's saying, okay, you want to contact. You put the amount in that you want to earn every year, and they say, okay, if you want to do that, you're going to have to do at least this. And so it automatically says you have to do so many customers, so many prospects, so many follow-ups and that kind of stuff every day. And then it gives you a chance to set how you're going to follow up with them instead of leaving that up to you. And it automatically keeps track of that for you. So you're telling it what you want to do, and then it's helping you remember to do it. So that's the neat thing. They have a special price. Instead of $30, it's $20 for Juice Plus reps. They have a free month. And they are so, so helpful. I mean, they're just absolutely so helpful. They have videos for everything.
So
it's
I just
pretty helpful.
Suggest we've had some videos. One of the things that I like best about it is that you put in there how much money you would like to make. Don't be afraid of that because the more money you make, the more people you're helping. We have to get over that. But it also asks you, and it takes you through several levels of your why.
Oh, let me see this.
And
I
so
can find.
Need to reconnect with our why. So I would like to do calls with people and talk about that. Why do we get started? Why do we want to do this? Why do we want to, who is it that you want to help? So
I'm trying to see. It has your Y on there.
right. And it saves it for you. You know, I keep thinking I'm done and it keeps telling me I'm not. So I got to work on that. But anyway, it's late. We need to go. I appreciate everybody. And I'm going to stop the recording.